Hi, good evening, everyone. Uh, Good session, good, like about the data privacy, about the hybrid distributed architectures. Uh, I think we've got a lot of stuff. So quickly, I think, allow me to present a few of the charts on the data part. This is something which again, coming from the leading analysts, I would say, be it IDG, IDC, Gartner, the kind of, the amount of data which is exploding, and the data sources which are coming up, average number of data sources per organization, depending on the various use cases. Two things which I hear in all the events, all the side talks with the customers and with the, I would say analysts. One is the AI. AI is on top of the town. Everyone is talking about the AI projects. And second is the incredible India growth story, right? There is another third one also. I mean, we can talk about that over the drinks. So similarly, you look into you would have experienced the role of the business guys, the kind of demand for the data, the real-time data, the single source of truth, which every organization is asking for. That is where we see today, if we say only 35% of the users typically are from the business analyst, I would say. Now, what is predicted is more and more, so like more 25% growth is number of business users are going to come up. That adds to the, I've just picked up this old slide. So typically what we were doing, I mean, as of yesterday was, we have got limited number of databases. We've got limited number of data warehouse or data lakes. Now we've got the lake houses coming up. And we would have some SaaS app, depending on the business requirements are growing up. The latest being the vector databases, the TiDB vector database, which I recently come across with one of the logistics startup. So the way and even if you go to your journey of transformation to cloud, you have got specific workloads, specific databases, users are changing, you have got applications are changing, you're adopting more and more SaaS-based business-focused applications which are coming up, a lot of IoT proliferation. So this is how you have got a spaghetti or intertwining of the connectivity that we have built over a period of time. Now, what has actually happened is these integrations, I think many of us will agree, they are like brittle in the sense that they are difficult to manage and maintain. Typically, in our IT roles, we would have seen a lot of requests keep coming for a one-off ad hoc request for access to a specific data set or a specific data ad hoc request for a specific user to a data. These requests keep coming up. This is also something which has, the source is McKinsey's global survey on the digital initiatives. I'll focus on the pie chart, you see. Very little of the companies have actually been able to realize the actual digital transformation benefits. It's less than, I think, 1/3 of the companies who really what they envisaged that the kind of revenue growth or the kind of benefits they'll get and what they actually achieved at the end of the day. It all boils down to our data challenges, the way we are currently, having the disparate data sources. This is where, people, we've been trying with our partners to put everything into cloud, which in the last panel discussion was, we'll remain on hybrid, we'll have multi-cloud kind of a scenarios. So, and then, there is vendor lock-in is also one of the areas that we are seeing, which companies have seen. Once you are onboarded onto a particular solution, over a period of time, as your data volume grows, it rather explodes. We have seen your compute cost, which looks very small at the beginning. You would experience those kind of really mushrooming, or I'll say the ballooning costs in your cloud bills even, So what strategy we are talking about? The strategy is, actually embrace the distributed data landscape. We'll have say multi-cloud, as we say, multi-cloud is going to stay. We have migrated some of our production applications from on-prem to cloud for availability, for agility, for scalability part, and for compliances also, right? So logical is an approach where we say, okay, fine, we don't need to really create multiple intermediaries copies of your data. For example, you've got an ERP system. I don't want to name a particular brand. You've got a kind of ERP system where you already have something like a 5 terabyte of database. And then you've got, say, 7 of your production applications. Few of them have moved to cloud. Some of them are on-prem. Now, if you are already on cloud, suppose you are on AWS, for example, what is the point of, like really replicating one of my production application, which is having a 2 terabytes or 20 terabyte of space into a data lake? Where, I mean, again, the data lake or data warehouse, again, you're going to create a copy of that subset. So that is where the approach is, there's a fine balance as per Gartner is to, when you talk about the connecting to the sources and collecting the data. So there has to be balance between connect and collect. That's where, like we can have the agility, we can have the right data sets available. And third is, like to adopt AI, as we're talking about AI, so adopt AI to, really simplify and automate the way our digital transformations are happening. So first is embrace a distributed data landscape. This is, I think most of you will have slightly different opinions. So first was the, as we said, during the disruption, was a great data migration to multiple clouds. People went in with the choice of whatever cloud they had, or now when we are realizing few select data sets, few cloud providers are actually good at managing some of the stuff. But is this really solving the problem? Maybe yes, but majority no, because you still have got multi-cloud environment and hybrid cloud. And then now is the new, wave of great replication, like you've got lake houses now. So we had a data warehouse for our entire OLTP way back in 80s, I would say. And then we had the new data coming up, the IoT and the social, and we say, okay, now we need a data lake. And now we say, okay, fine, now we want to have the best of both the OLTP and OLAP, so let's talk about the lake houses. So all these projects are like labor intensive, it has cost elements, and then it's a time difference, like there's the lag. Imagine, like your competitor or your other business, they have found a way, rather than building those data pipelines to connect to various emerging or new data sets available in your entire ecosystem, they found a way, where they can reach the customer in a better or in a faster way, So the customer is not going to wait for that, for say the IT really to come up with a kind of point-to-point connectivity or an integration. This is the real scenario. You would agree. You will have multiple sets, multiple applications, multiple users, and multiple locations. This is where I was referring to the Gartner's say 22 on the when they published this the data integration tools Magic Quadrant. So yes, there has to be a balance between connecting and collecting the data. Otherwise, we end up into more siloed select data environments. Strategy number 2 is adopt a logical approach to do data management. Now, what it is, you have all the data sources available within your ecosystem. It could be with say our organization, it could be our partner organization, it could be our supply chain teams, which is I think which is a good learning of how brittle the supply chains actually can be, that we have experienced in our the great disruption period. So you can connect to any of the downstream and upstream partners in your ecosystem. All kind of data formats, whatever you have, the data types you have, the data locations you have, it could be your existing data warehouses, your data lakes, your lake houses for that matter. You could be on a multi-cloud, so including your streaming applications, for example. So you connect to all these data sources. This is where Denodo comes in. We have got the native adapters built for 200 plus data types. You connect to them, we capture only the metadata of them. So, and we store the metadata in the form of Apache Derby in your, anywhere you want. You want on-prem, I just need a IS there just to store that particular select the metadata part. And it could be on cloud, it could be on hybrid. And then you do the integration part. Now here the modeling part, that typically what we used to do in terms of building our data marts. Here this gives us a kind of logical view. It gives a kind of base view of where my data is. So you're building a strong semantic layer across your entire ecosystem. You now exactly yes, there is a data set available in my warehouse, which is not integrated completely with your ERP system. So when your operations team or supply chain team has to make an informed decision about selecting a particular vendor, for example, they should know, okay, what kind of, the SRs are lying in your Jira tool, for example, of that particular product. What is the time to response, time to resolution? All these things are being captured by some of the person responsible for a KPI in our organization. But is the data available at the right time to the right resource or right user to take an informed decision, for example? Similarly, I'll give you an example of a telco, or a bank, for example. The moment a customer calls in, like they could be routed via a smart bot, and the issue is not getting resolved. You have spent, say, like you have already there with a select AI-based bot for select 2 minutes, and still your issue is not being resolved, and you say no, talk to the agent, for example, 999. You are pressing it again. And the way that this is what I think I can talk about that customer, the Vodafone. Vodafone is doing in Europe with us. So the moment that call gets transferred to a call agent, so the call agent's her KRA is your time to resolution, and you say the first call resolution time. Those two key parameters. Now this customer care executive immediately has access to some 76 odd applications which are there in the Vodafone's landscape. And they are not like, and this is kind of real-time data. They are not pulling a data from a data mart, which could be like a 4-hour delay or 1-hour delay. And the entire ecosystem is available for a customer care executive to really address those. So here's the power of digital transformation of the AI is that you are empowering the kind of first person in your organization who is interfacing with the customer. It could be anywhere. It could be in an automobile segment, for example. It could be in a kind of insurance segment, for example. So this is where the modeling part, the way we are doing the integrations. Now you don't need to build a point-to-point connectivity, point-to-point, a kind of integration is required. So we do this on the fly, and we deliver it to whatever your consumption layer is. APIfication, all of us are really putting a lot of effort on the APIfication, the way the data is being consumed by our business or our partners or our customers. So we can leverage your existing API gateway. You publish this whatever data, the way you want to process through our API. Your data science teams, they can use whatever the common tools, Python, R, Jupyter. So again, once we have built a strong semantic layer, your data science team really knows which is your trusted data, where it is lying. They don't have to really go through this myriad landscape of, and spending those time. This is what one of the business benefit. I'll talk about a case study here. And then your typical BI tools, whatever BI tool you are using, I'll say all BI tools are great. It could be Looker, it could be Power BI, it could be Tableau, Click, whatever you are using, even the Cognos you are using. So we are there, to support. The foundation of our company is that we want our users to leverage heterogeneous data, maximize your investments that you've already made into various software or the hardware that you have. Data democratization, access, allow the right data to be available to the right resource at the right time. And finally, data as a service kind of model, where you talk about a domain-based data is being published. Now, this again is, I'll not get into these specifics in the interest of the time. So we have got the ROIs part, and then we have got the AI to simplify and automate. There are various ways, you can again leverage ChatGPT. Your query can be in NLP, or you can see how a typical query has to be fine-tuned. What I'll talk about is the new approach that we're talking about, data mesh or data fabric. Here you will see that you have got different domains out here. So again, these are your data at rest, and then you have got the data at use. What you have got is, you have got the customer's domain, you've got a product domain. For an insurance company, it could be a claim domain. You can have a data as a service kind of an approach. We are not creating multiple data marts. We are only having a logical data views here. This is, again, an example, wherein you have multiple sources. Each domain is given a separate virtual schema, like a common domain, an event, and a human resource. And you build the way you want to consume the data, you build those models logically and deliver it to the way you want. This is a quick one. I will just refer to, for example, we work with all as I said, we are agnostic to the cloud technologies. This is one as a data as a service for, say, GCP, for example. We talk about GCP over here. So you could have a typical scenario. You will have not many applications like Salesforce or other CRM applications. You will have on-prem data sources, applications, databases, and files. And you will have, consumed many of your GCP services, maybe Spanner or BigQuery or whatever. So what we do is, we do a data virtualization using Denodo, and then we publish it either to your mobile apps, your other applications, marketplace, or your BI tools. It becomes so easy, and it's all real time, and you're not moving a whole of the data. So you're only moving the selective data from, say, Salesforce or from, say, your on-prem system and your, say, like a Spanner to your Looker. You only, moving the required data. You're not moving the whole number of rows out there. Similarly, you can have a customer 360 view. All I've done is I've added the machine learning part, assuming you are on GCP and you are using a machine learning from module of GCP. So it's a two-way communication between the Denodo virtualization layer and the machine learning part. The rest goes. Similarly, you can have the operational AI. So if you are on, say, like any of the cloud provider, be it AWS or GCP or Azure, and you are also then using your speech or your translate APIs, like for data science, that's also quite possible. Dynamic data protection, again, a good use case where you have a logical layer and all the access is through this logical layer. So you don't need to really go and each and every application and data set to really, master data or separate the data. Snowflake, talk of the town. This is again somewhere we can leverage. You don't need to necessarily copy all the data from all your sources, a multi-cloud scenario. I'll talk about multi-cloud. This is a multi-cloud scenario. So you are on multi-cloud, you are on-prem also, and you are also on a Snowflake, for example. So don't move the bulk of the data over there. We provide you a semantic layer, so your users know which data is residing where, in which format, based on your requirement of your consuming applications, mobile, other applications, or data science tools or BI. You get the required data delivered real time. We're not doing a batch processing, we can deliver data real time. I think customer case study, I'm out of time. Maybe you please come, we are there on the booth. I can walk you through some of the real customer case studies, and that is one of the privileges. What I'll say is what they really saved is, this is so this is it. 30% faster was the time in terms of, go to market. They were able to roll out their AI projects, their machine learning projects 30% faster. The deployment was simple. About the company, we are a leader in the data management space. So we've been there in the recognized by Forrester, Gartner, 4th year in consecutive. We are in the leaders quadrant in the integration tool. Data virtualization is also one of the preferred integration tool. And the best is, my favorite is the Gartner peer review. So that's again the 3rd consecutive year we are there as at the number 1 position out there. That's all I would say. Any of the initiatives on your horizon, be it 360 view of your entities or your big migration to cloud or managing the multi-clouds, or data science, governance, please drop in. We'll be happy to, meet over and have a discussion with you. Thank you so much.